Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, my name is Yoshihide Sekimoto, professor in the Department of Civil Engineering. So anyway, we are very happy to have a symposium on the International Student Education Program 2021. So we have been holding an international student-led symposium by ISACE, International Student Association of Civil Engineering. Yes, we call ISACE or ISAC, but student favors ISAC. So now we call ISAC. But recent years, yeah, it has become difficult to hold events offline or domestic tours, study tour in Corona. So therefore, we are envisioning an event focused on the international student education program itself, with a focus on faculty members. Anyway, so specifically, the event is expected to include regular reviews of the next program or some other scholarship program, and review of the international student education program of measures, and opportunity for the international students to participate in activities, and report on the activity of the international student alumni associations. So anyway, last year, this was the first time of this symposium, and fortunately at that time, Indonesian alumni Ashi-san asked us to strengthen the alumni network in each countries. Yes, because not only Japanese alumni members, but also Western countries alumni students also have a very strong powers. So yes, we discussed about the how to say empowerment of the alumni network in each country. So that's why as a first time we have a collaboration with the Indonesian alumni this year. So anyway, of course, today at first, as a part one, we have a current direction of the international student education program from the Professor Kato and the ISAC students and some other yes, current foreign students. And then part two, of course, we are very honored to introduce the Professor Soga from UC Berkeley's special speech, and then after that, yeah, we'd like to introduce the Indonesian alumni with 3 members. Okay. Anyway, yes, let's start the symposium. And the yes, in this symposium, is it okay to record by the Zoom applications? Okay. Oh, thank you so much. So anyway, at first, yes, I'd like to welcome the opening remarks by the Professor Yoshimitsu Tajima Sensei, Chair of the Department of Civil Engineering. Please.
Hi, thank you, Professor Sekimoto. So, hello everyone. On behalf of all the faculty members of the Department of Civil Engineering, School of Engineering of the University of Tokyo, I'd like to give brief remarks. So first of all, I'd like to express our sincere gratitude to all the organizations and individuals who have supported our international student education program, such as Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science and Technology, Asian Development Bank, Shimizu Corporation, and Ueda Memorial Foundation. So your support in various aspects are essential to continue our successful international student education program. Thank you very much. And I would also like to thank invited guests who will give us the lectures for this symposium. So today, the first part of the symposium will focus on the review of our overall activities through the education program. And I believe these reviews are essential not only to check and evaluate our activities, but also think about the further modification and improvement of the program. I also thank invited lectures, which must give us important insights, keys, and ways forward for our future improvement of the program. So after the reviews, short talks, and lectures, I also hope that we can have a good discussions for better future. So I really appreciate the suggestions from all the participants. So finally, I'd also like to thank our colleagues and students who planned and organized these wonderful opportunities. So all the participants, let's enjoy the symposium. Thank you very much.
Tajima Sensei, thank you so much for your opening remarks. So now let's move on to the lecture from our Department of Civil Engineering, Kato Sensei, about the recent status of the international student education program in the Department of Civil Engineering. じゃあ、加藤先生、please start.
Okay, thank you. Good morning or good afternoons or good evenings, everyone's, depending on where you are. I'm Hironori Kato, professor of the Department of Civil Engineering at the University of Tokyo. I'm responsible and in charge of international graduate program now in 2021. I'd like to make a brief reports regarding the latest status about our program activities and also the performance. Okay, probably most of you have already known about our international graduate program, the departments. This program is in the Department of Civil Engineering at the University of Tokyo. And it's an integrated program with the Japanese students education program. It's started since 1982, so it has quite a long history. And this international program courseworks are only in English. Therefore, the many international students have less difficulties to learn and do some activities everywhere in these programs. These are the bottom parts shows some statistics about our department or the Graduate School of Engineering of the University of Tokyo. You see that, for example, master students, in total 200 students, but 1/3 of our students are international. And as for the doctoral students, more than, say, 80% students are international. So our program is a quite internationalized one. International graduate program, as I told you, it has over 40 years histories and over 1,400 students from more than 70 countries have graduated from our program. Always as many as 100 international students are staying and learning at the program from over 20 countries. And this map illustrates the summaries of the distribution nationalities. You see that many students from all the world coming to the University of Tokyo and learn at our program. These coming two slides summarize the current or recent situations about the applications and also the intake in the past 5 years. Many students really were attracted to our program. And in the past 2017 to 2020, we have quite many applications, but unfortunately, 2021, still we have quite many applications, but the numbers are a little bit reduced. And as you can imagine, COVID-19 pandemic could quite significant impacts on our applications. But still, we have a quite strict screening process to find excellent students. So roughly only 7% students can get admissions for mixed scholarship. And in total, including the other scholarship, about 10% only can come into our university or departments of civil engineering. I hope in next years, we can have more applications after COVID-19 pandemic impacts. Where do they come from? This table summarizes the geographical distributions by regions from 2017 to 2021 regarding the number of students. You see that about 42%, right? Yes, no, yes. Come from South Asia, and 23% come from East Asia, and 20 Southeast Asia. Anyways, you see that most of the students are coming from Asia mainly, but also we have also students from South North America or Europe and Africa. We try to extend the scope of geography of our countries in our program as much as possible. Uniqueness of our program. We are proud of these uniqueness, including 7 aspects. Most of the students know about the program, but for others, I'd like to again introduce what is the uniqueness and also interesting components of our program. First one, well-established program with many supports. Including, of course, MEX or the ADB or the Shimizu Corporation or the Ueda Memorial Foundations. There are many scholarship sponsors to support our program. And additionally, as I told you, no requirement of Japanese language for degrees. From the beginnings, all students can enroll our universities and programs and learn using English because all the classes are provided in English. So in that sense, usually in other universities, 6 months period for training of Japanese language is required, but immediately they can start the program. And also we provide quite excellent language classes, including the Japanese language class and also the English classes. As for the Japanese language classes, those classes are organized by professional Japanese teacher and provides support, not only the language training, but also the support the daily life in Japan, and also to share local cultures. And particularly at the first years, nearly all students join this class and learn culture or language, etc. nearly every day. So I think that this introductory program, particularly regarding the language, supports the daily life. In addition to the, of course, academic research work. And we also provide the academic English classes, because some or the many of international students may not come from the native English speaking countries. So we support also for research and for educations, academic English class provided. And this program is not given not only to the international students, but the university staff or Japanese students as well. And through this kind of program, we try to make our program into the more internationalized one. International students had further rich supports, for example, from students and also host families and alumni associations. Personal issues for the international students are advised and supported by student tutors in their study units. Japanese students typically contribute to this kind of tutor work. And the regular contacts with host family also supported international students about their daily life. And the voluntary activities from students, associations is also quite actively working on the support and communication among international students. Of course, later on, I will introduce alumni association as well. These photos are the activities done by those associations or organizations. But unfortunately, as you know, during COVID-19 pandemic, unfortunately, we couldn't do this kind of face-to-face activities, events. We'd like to do again in the near futures after the pandemic. Yes, another important characteristics of program is creative collaborations with industries. We have many opportunities for international students and also Japanese students working together with the practical peoples. And for example, some internship program in companies or the organizations like Asian Development Bank, for example. Thank you very much for giving us such a nice opportunities to students. And also we regularly have an international summer seminar series supported by many Japanese private companies. This kind of practical educations give very nice opportunities for students to understand the practical issues. And also we have opportunities of international activities, events. We have collaborated with universities or organizations in other countries and quite active joint programs together with the students in those universities. One of the example is a recent one. It's an international internship program together with Vietnam, Japan universities since 2016, or joins the program with French universities, École Nationale de Ponty-Chaussée, ENPC, which is quite famous university in civil engineering field, one of the grand écoles in France. Recently, more international students prefer and hope to work in Japan after their graduation. So we also make effective career support to those students. So job hunting events is held by our departments. And for both Japanese students and also international students, we make some kind of job forum in which the Japanese companies mainly are invited to come and introduce their work and provide some job opportunities information. And yes, and another one is we have introduced efficient program management systems. And one of them is a quite unique database has been developed, and original online application system has been already introduced. So many students from all over the world can use this system for apply for our program using quite innovative online system without any physical postal sendings of documents. Of course, at the final stage, they need to do that, but at the application process, they do not need to do such a kind of a troublesome work for application. For recruiting the students, we are using global human network as much as possible, particularly in cooperation with alumni. We have a quite big alumni network. There are many local alumni associations, including the Indonesian ones. For example, today they are greatly supporting to our activities, events. International students are recruited and recommended by those alumni. And faculty members and also sometimes the students maybe that's dispatched to various universities or nations to give information to the local students who are interested in working, studying at our universities by, for example, giving special lectures. Oh yeah, this photo is a special lectures at the University of California, Berkeley. We also have actively doing the follow-up of graduates using online systems under the support from Alumni Association. We have set up SNS to connect international alumni with the departments. And of course, this system is made in English, and the online alumni list in English is also developed and integrated with that of the Japanese alumni. Facebook is also available. So if you have a chance, please visit this Facebook and contribute to this Facebook by giving your news posting. Alumni Association has developed a new platform for alumni network in which the latest news and the special contents are provided from the departments. Akaike-san, maybe later on she may come or some give comments to us. She is actively contributing to managing this types of alumni network, and please communicate with alumni through this ShakiNet, which is developed by her. And more information is available at this web link. Finally, I would like to talk about really latest information or the situations about department, particularly for international students under COVID-19 pandemic, 2021 particularly. All classes have been provided, unfortunately, through online only since April 12, 2020. And according to the strategy of a department, still next April or later, we continue this situation. At the beginning, we had some difficulties, challenges to communicate each other by using online system, but both instructors and students have get used to online classes. Of course, there are several negative aspects of online system. We cannot make a face-to-face communications, but we find some advantage of online system as well. And using this kind of systems, we had a joint class with other international universities. For example, Vietnam Japan University, which is located in Hanoi, Vietnam. We had a joint class with them. And also, we have had many alumni seminars worldwide. Of course, even final defenses are implemented online recent days. According to the international students questionnaire surveys, which was held last symposium in this event, March 2021, yes, many students told to us they are quite satisfied with the lecture and the project courses offered by the department, even under the COVID-19 pandemic. Yes, as I told you, so we have had many seminars with alumni worldwide. For example, from last year's officially, our department has introduced some monthly seminars inviting alumni worldwide, and they have given us many stories regarding their activities after the graduations and the current situation, etc., and that attracts many existing students. I think this kind of international seminar should be very informative for many international students. And also, even for alumni, there are good chance to have some kind of communications with existing members. So we'd like to continue. Yeah, as such, we have challenged to do a kind of plan, do, check, act cycles in our graduate programs. And yes, performance of our program has been monitored and evaluated regularly by external reviewers. And today, actually, we invited several professionals or alumni, and we request them to evaluate our program. We also want to get the opinions and also the advices from participants. So I'm very happy to communicate with many people who are interested in and supporting a program. So through the these types of communications between academics, alumni, of course, staff and industries, we'd like to expand and extend and upgrade to be the more inclusive programs with multiple players. A kind of conclusions. Yes, we have been succeeded. We have succeeded in developing our graduate program with many support from various peoples. I again like to say thank you very much for many supporters for their very kind support to our programs. For further developments and upgrading of our program, we like to make best effort. So I expect many people, including you, to support the program and give us further comments and also advices to us. I think those activities finally contributing to sustainable global societies, which is one of our goals of our department. Thank you very much for your listenings. This is the end of my report. Thank you.
Thank you, Sensei.
Thank you very much, Kato Sensei. Yes, our education program has been updated continuously, even in the COVID-19 situations. Okay, anyway, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay, then let's move on to the greetings from the guest sponsors. So at first, I'd like to welcome Yuriko Onishi as a representative of the Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology. So Onishi-san, please.
Hi, everyone. Thank you very much, Professor Sekimoto. It's great to see you all. I'm Yuriko Onishi from the Office for Student Exchange from Ministry of Education, Culture, Sports, Science, and Technology. I am incredibly honored to have a chance to give greetings 2 years in a row. It has been 2 years since the very first COVID-19 case was confirmed in Japan, and I think no one expected that even after 2 years, we are still wearing a mask and need to pay attention to the distance from other people. And we cannot confirm how the situation is going to be next year either. However, we need to give best of ourselves and keep having hope in order to move on. Under these circumstances, it is truly important to be together, even if online, so as to share knowledge and experiences. The English chemist George Porter once said that there are 2 types of research, applied and not yet applied. All the useful applied research comes only from the basic research, whose social applications are not yet self-evident. I think this not yet applied research will be the key to enrich our life in the near future. I would like to express my respect to the students who are here for the passion on their research and gratitude for the professors and sponsors who have been supporting the students under these difficult times. So thank you very much, everyone. And now I will give it back to Professor Sekimoto. Thank you.
Yes, thank you very much, Onishi-san. Yeah, and this is very, how to say, very good and encourage. Yes, greetings from you. Yeah, actually, thanks so much.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
Okay, so next, yes, we'd like to invite Mr. Hiroki Kasahara from Asian Development Bank. Okay, I'm ready.
Yes, thank you so much, Sekimoto Sensei, and also very comprehensive presentation by Kato-san, the opening remarks by Tajima Sensei. Always I'm impressed with how we have very common challenges and the issues together. So maybe we can, address those issues all together. And then if we join our efforts, and then we can do better. いつもお世話になっております。Good afternoon to all guests and participants. As the Asian Development Bank and the Government of Japan's Scholarship Program Coordinator, it is my pleasure to be invited again to this symposium organized by the Department of Civil Engineering of University of Tokyo. For almost 2 years already, we faced various significant challenges due to the prolonged COVID-19. We are beginning to see the light at the end of the tunnel, or maybe not so soon. And I hope we will soon see the end of the pandemic and meet face to face each other. In the last 34 years, the ADB Japan Scholarship Program has given opportunities for more than 4,000 highly qualified youth from 37 of ADB's developing member countries to undertake graduate studies in areas covered by ADB's long-term strategy and Japan's official development assistance. It is worth mentioning that UOT has been one of our partner universities since 1989. Our long-standing cooperation produced 500 scholars, which is second to the highest among all our 25 partner universities in Japan and other Asian and Pacific countries. We support 5 schools in University of Tokyo. Currently, we have 38 scholars pursuing their studies in UOT, and 13 of scholars are at the Department of Civil Engineering. The ADB Japan Scholarship Program, scholars at the UOT are privileged to be able to study alongside some of the best and brightest students with some of the best professors in one of the best universities in the region. I do hope that they will value this privilege and connections and network that they will build. In a year or two, as they return to their home countries, I am convinced that they will be better prepared with new set of skills and knowledge to contribute to their home countries' post-pandemic recovery. Before I close, I'd like to also touch upon the ADB Japan Scholarship Program and Indonesian alumni of the program. Since today's event title is this event was in close cooperation with the Indonesian scholars. We have more than 3,800 alumni, of which 306 or 8% from Indonesia, putting it among the top 5 participating developing member countries of our program. In March 2020, actually immediately before the pandemic, our president, Masatsugu Asakawa, met with the selected Indonesian alumni of the ADB Japan Scholarship Program. Our president encouraged close relations among the alumni in the home countries, and also we continue our efforts to strengthen our network with alumni from Indonesia, as well as other countries, by inviting them to ADB Japan Scholarship Program's various knowledge activities and events to continue to relationship even after the graduation. Let me end my message by expressing our appreciation to UOT once again. As our long-standing partner, we thank you for your valuable cooperation. We are confident that UOT ADB Japan Scholarship Program scholars, together with other students, have the best environment to nurture their potential and help achieve their personal and professional growth. Thank you very much and have a good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Kasahara-san. Yes, how to say? Yes, I noticed ADB supports very long term over the 30 years, and also I found the strong relationship between the ADB and Indonesian communities. So thank you very much for very good greetings. Thanks. Okay. And then I'd like to invite Mr. Masayuki Ono from Shimizu Corporation. Okay.
Can I start?
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you very much for inviting me to participate to today's symposium. I would like to say some words because my company, Shimizu Corporation, has supported several students with scholarship, as Professor Kato mentioned. My name is Masayuki Ono. I graduated from University of Tokyo in 1994 as a civil engineer and joined Shimizu Corporation. Now I belong to sales department as manager. I was worked in Taiwan for high-speed rail and Dubai for intelligent projects, and went long business trip to Vietnam, Indonesia, China, and Malaysia At that country, many engineers helped me a lot. So I think that alumni gatherings are always meaningful. I have participated in various alumni gatherings. For example, University Civil Engineering alumni and club alumni, high school alumni, and so on. Sometimes a large scale, sometimes a small one. And also, sometimes we have the presentation regarding each works. At that time, I can get a lot of inspiration from our alumni and classmates. So I think that most important thing is to maintain this kind of relationship. For this reason, I hope that these gatherings will continue to be more active and longer. So this symposium also continue to be more and longer. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Ono-san. Yes, today, fortunately, we'd like to invite Mr. Gani from the Shimizu Corporation as an alumni student, and yeah, he is now chief design engineers of your company. So, later he will have a talk in the part 2. Yes. So yes, please listen to his talks. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much for the greetings from our guest sponsors. Now, so okay. Now let's move on to the short talk from ISACE representative Zainab Farouk, Bridge and Engineering Laboratories. Her title is the ISACE Activity and the Situation and Innovations of Student Life in the Corona Disaster Situations. So Zainab, are you ready?
Is my screen visible and am I audible?
Yes. Can see.
Okay. Just a moment, please. Okay. Good afternoon to the all senseis, alumni, and current students of University of Tokyo. My name is Zainab Farouk, and I belong to Pakistan. I'm a mixed scholarship student, and I'm pursuing my master's degree student at the Bridge and Structures Laboratory at the Civil Engineering Department. Thank you for providing me an opportunity to talk today at the occasion of the symposium. As a representative of ISACE, I would like to take this opportunity to talk about ISACE's activities and situations and innovations for the student lives during the COVID-19 disaster. So, ISACE, which is an abbreviation for International Student Association in Civil Engineering, is the first and official international student group in the Department of Civil Engineering. ISACE was created after the 11 March earthquake, tsunami, and nuclear disaster, and it serves as a purpose for connecting and providing an interaction platform for the international students. And the purpose was to resolve any issues if they face and make their stay comfortable in Japan. Also, it also aimed to bridge the gap between foreigners and Japanese students. We believe ISACE serves the purpose to inform, supplement, assist, connect the international students at the Department of Civil Engineering and contribute to an enjoyable stay in Japan as they continue their postgraduate studies in Japan. As a student organization, ISACE aspires to hold multiple events during the calendar year. Major events usually include a welcome party for the new freshers which are coming into the Civil Engineering Department every semester, alumni forum for discussion and connecting the new students with the alumni, a symposium, the International Symposium, which we are fortunate to hold today for the year, and accompanied by many field trips that allow the students to connect together as well as gain practical knowledge and explore Japan in a very good environment. Other than these major activities, some other regular activities which are generally extracurricular or just for fun includes movie nights, fun walking trips, international lunch, also help to connect the students throughout the stay in Japan. Other than these activities, we also try to publish our ISAC online magazine, which summarizes and provides information for the international students to assist their stay in Japan. Okay, regarding the hierarchy of ISAC, which exists at the present, the professors and the senseis propose ideas for the event, and FSO checks the feasibility and the proposal for the organizing events. ISAC committee, the student committee of ISAC, is directly responsible for the organization of the event, providing information and coordinating with the speakers and other stakeholders. And the stakeholders are generally the students of the UTokyo and include the professors, alumni, and many other people who are involved in this events. So the structure of ISAC is like we have an executive committee including a president, vice president, and 2 executive members. And the executive committee of the ISAC is in very deep connection with FSO, and together they are interacting and coordinating with the professors and the international students for the successful organization of international events. So for the year 2021 to 2022, the ISAC committee consists of 4 members: Jiu-san from China. She is a member of International Project Laboratory. Janak-san from Nepal and is a member of Aguchi Lab. Zuhaib-san from Pakistan, he's from Sakai Lab, and me, myself, Zainab, from the Bridge and Structures Lab. I'd like to share the snapshots of the events held by ISAC time to time. This is a picture from a welcome party held in 2019 to 20. Fortunately, at that time, there was no COVID and the events were held in person. And these are from the field trips held time to time to different areas in Japan. After the COVID-19, since we couldn't have an occasion to meet in person and organize events like that, we took the opportunity of the online communication for the events. This snapshot is from the Symposium of International Student Exchange Program for the year 2021. For this year, the executive committee, along with the supervision of FSO and supervisors and the professors, have a plan for holding events this year, including a welcome party, alumni talk, the symposium, which is being held today, the field trips, New Year party, movie nights, and walking trips. For the welcome party, it was held online in the December. Alumni talk series go on time to time and are also being held online. The symposium is being also held online. However, the next events, including the field trip, New Year party, movie night, and the walking trips, mainly depend upon the COVID-19 situation, and we hope as the situation gets better, we are able to organize these events in person and have a wonderful experience with the international student community. This is a snapshot from the welcome party, which was held this December and was aimed to welcome the students who were enrolling in 2020 and 2021. And most of the students at that time were not in Japan. However, the welcome party was just a welcome for their studies as they begin their semesters in October 2021. From time to time, ISAC has been able to organize alumni talk. For this year, we have been able to organize 3 alumni talk with our worthy alumni from different areas of the world, including the first one from Philippines, second from Germany, and third from Uganda, and discussing some good topics with them and interacting and providing an interactive platform for the alumni with the present students of the university. So thank you for your attention, and in case of any queries and collaborations and any concerns, please connect us at the email ID. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Zainab-san. Okay. So now let's move on to the short talks from 4 students. Okay. So at first, Kishore Kimushina, are you ready?
Sensei, am I visible?
Yes.
Thank you. Good afternoon, respected Sensei, respected guests, my seniors and dear friends. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to present my short presentation on my research and daily life in this corona disaster in this symposium. I am Kishore Timsina. I am from Nepal, and I am currently in Meguro and Numada Laboratory, which is basically earthquake and disaster mitigation engineering lab. I did my master's from 2017 to 2019, and my master's research was on retrofitting of soft-story RC frame buildings for Nepal. And currently, I am in doctoral second year. I started my doctoral degree in 2020 September. Now I am in next scholarship. Previously in master's, I was in ADB scholarship. So thank you very much for both ADB JSV scholarship and next scholarship for providing me this opportunity for studying in this prestigious university. So first, today I would like to present my short presentation on research work, and then I would share life during this COVID. So starting with my research work. My research work is data-driven model updating and material properties identification of RC frame buildings. So in this research background, in the real world, we have a very large number of existing building stock, and we have very non-uniform seismic setting in the world. And the buildings we have most of the buildings are poor engineered, and the materials we used are very non-uniform. And we change the buildings with time, and that is very difficult to control. So there is a condition that we have to understand the condition of those kind of buildings with time. And if we want to replicate the real world buildings into the theoretical world, like a numerical model, we replicate those buildings through geometric properties, material properties, and structural capacity of those buildings. But it is very difficult to measure those properties in the field because the real world is very complicated. So my objective is to bridge that gap between real world and theoretical world by improving the ability, accuracy, and applicability of the numerical tools. So for that, my desire is to improve the capacity of understanding the characteristic of the real buildings through numerical modeling, non-destructive test data, and vibration data, which I am being used, and apply those for the real disaster, like preparation of real disaster, or after the disaster, like earthquake and wind disaster. And I intend to help structural consultants, maintenance consultants, and policymakers through this research. So I'll show the short flowchart of my research. In this research, for the existing building, I get 3 types of data. One is non-destructive test data, another is vibration data from the building, and also another one is numerical model analysis data, from which I get frequency and more shapes data. And from first non-destructive test data, I have UPB test data and Schmidt hammer test data. And from the 2 field data and model analysis data, I do model updating through Bayesian method and sensitivity method and get the material properties, which would be much corrected. And I am creating the database for those things. And that database I am using for the deep learning using artificial neural network. And that artificial neural network is incorporated into the numerical method, which is currently 3D applied element method. And using that tool, we can use it for the existing structure and do the model analysis and get the real scenario of the real world to the numerical tool. And that model analysis can be reinforced into the existing database and improve the numerical tool with time. So this is my research. And basically what I am doing is I am replicating this real world problem through the data-driven approach and increase the applicability and accuracy of that to create a proper numerical model. So this is my summary of my research, what I am doing. I am due to time limit, I cannot show some results. So this is how I am doing. And next, I would like to share my experience in life in Japan. As you know, I did my master's also here. So I had experience of before COVID also. So I'd like to share some pictures from before the COVID. Before COVID, we had so many field visits. Through ISACE also, we did very good field trips. Very good field trips. There used to be interaction with other students through Nihongo class and physical classes. So in lab also, we would have very lively environment. We have so many parties and interaction with everybody. So we could enjoy the culture and life in Japan to the fullest when it was no COVID. But after the COVID, I'm staying here in Kitaku. It is Toshima in the bank of Sumida River. It is very beautiful place, but I'm almost alone. We have 2-3 people from Nepal staying here. So everything is in Zoom. Class also in Zoom. Our lab meetings also in Zoom. This seminar, symposiums, everything in Zoom. There is online socialization, but very less socialization interaction in the real life. And I have very few contacts with the current student. I know from masters, I know almost everyone from my batch, but currently I do not know who are in my batch in the university. So that is lacking. But the host family program, I have very good host I got. I'm very fortunate for that. Mr. Sushida, I have traveled monthly. We travel to the new place, we hike. So in this difficult period, it was very helpful for me through this host family program also. But currently, recently from our lab also, we are doing some outdoor activities, and we have started to going to lab. So it is getting back to normal. We recently had Motsuki party in December, and some activities we are doing, and we are returning back to normal. I hope we can be normal soon, and we can meet everyone together. So this is all. Thank you everyone for giving me this opportunity to share my experience. Thank you.
Thank you, Kisho. Yes, actually, everything on Zoom still now. So I also hope the normal situation will be back soon. Okay. Okay. Next one is Shirun Ten from Bridge and Engineering Laboratory. Are you ready?
I'll start my presentation. So I'll present, good afternoon, everyone. I'll present regarding my research and life in Japan. And I'm thankful for this opportunity to be able to study here under the scholarship given by Shimizu Corporation. And so I'll first touch briefly on my research. It will be a very brief touch due to the time constraint. So my study is on the numerical study of correlation between rail vibration and wear and effects due to the different track stiffnesses. So the background on why I'm touching on this issue is because that steel rail wear affects the railway performance and increase the maintenance cost of the tracks. And there will be potential problems if not properly addressed, such as a reduction of traffic safety, the shortening of the operational life, and affecting the comfort of passengers. In general, there are different types of wear, like the nominal wear caused by lateral forces, and the corrugation wear caused by vibration, which is the one I'll be focusing on in my studies, which is shown here in the picture, the rough surface on top of the rail. And moving on, The vertical resonance of the wheels and rails in low damping track systems is one important reason for this short pitch rail corrugation. Track stiffness variation is another factor affecting the railway performance. A plastic or rubber pad that separates between the rail and the sleepers provides the damping, and the response which is of the rail, which is modeled as a beam, is dependent on the track stiffness. So actually the irregularities will induce vibration in the train and the track, and the interaction is shown in the picture below, the cycle in which the vibration will influence the contact and the wear in the cycle. And actually the varying stiffness along the track is also shown in the picture on the right. So some of the previous research has been done on the import of flexible body of the wheel set into SIMPAC to study the wear on the wheel, and also the using the initial profile of the rail for import into SIMPAC, and it has been checked critically. And so I didn't incorporate the other previous literature review due to time constraint, but this is a summary table which most of the researchers, they were done in a finite element model and on corrugation wear, and it's on the prediction of wear growth instead of relationship between vibration and wear, which is why I'm targeting this issue to study how the vibration will influence wear. And I also touch on adjusting the properties such as the rail pads later on. So in short, the objective is to obtain a correlation between rail vibration and corrugation using iterative methodology and suitable wear model to investigate the countermeasures of rail wear by varying the stiffnesses of the track by adjusting the rail pad. So the proposed methodology will be similar to what was being done of getting the initial profile and having input in the flex track model from the abacus to the SIMPAC, and after which the wear that will be calculated and repeated with a change for a fixed amount of wheel set passages. It will be repeated for different loads or irregularities, and it will be repeated for different stiffnesses of the rail pads. So the pictures below show how the flex track can be done in SIMPAC by the import. And the wear model I'm using is this Arquette's law, which have several parameters such as the hardness, time step, and wear coefficient. It have been commonly used in previous researches such as by Kalberger and also verified analytically. And so for my own ongoing research, initially I've tried modeling a simple model with bogey in SIMPAC, and also tried to import from abacus to SIMPAC for the flex track. And recently there have been some results which I will touch on briefly. So by using the linear flex track and using flat steel representation of the rail, and this is the simulation settings involved and the profile considered when studying the wear, which will be featured in the next few slides. So the results, this is the end results of the wheel wear from after the import. This is without the irregularity imposed on the track. This is the results with the irregularity imposed on the tracks. So there's some difference in the shape of the wear, which I won't be elaborating further. And so this is my proposed timeline. And in, of course, it's not just research, but other than doing research in my dorm, I also had engineering and Japanese lessons online. And actually, I arrived after COVID started, so I rarely went out. And there's only occasionally meet up with host family and friends in Tokyo. I rarely step out of Tokyo, but it's already a pleasure to be able to experience the 4 seasons here, which I can't experience back in my home country, Singapore. So this is the tree in Tokyo U, which is commonly featured in many students' photos. And this is autumn in Inokashira Park, which is near my dorm. And this is the day where it snowed in near my dorm. And other than that, I also managed to experience some of the interesting events, such as the Hatsumode. This is the temple near my dorm, Jindaiji, because the year which I arrived in Japan, I was in quarantine, so I didn't experience the New Year Eve and the atmosphere here. So I was glad to be able to experience recently. And I hope that the corona situation will be able to get better soon, so that many students can enjoy life in Japan. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ten. Okay. So, and then Clint Chester rays. Okay, are you ready?
Yes, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I am Clint Chester Reyes, and from the Coastal Engineering Laboratory, and I'm here to talk about my research in daily life. I am an ADP scholarship recipient since September 2020, and so my master's research is the lab and numerical study of nearshore deformation of a core gravel beach. My study focuses on the problem of coastal erosion in tropical regions where coral reefs are present. And coral gravels are observed to be seen in the swash zone. And they have a porous property where when the wave runs up the shoreline, infiltration and exfiltration occurs inside the bed. This reduces flow momentum, causing more onshore transport of sediment, and more accretion is observed. And so the goal of my research is to conduct lab experiments and develop, focusing on infiltration, exfiltration in the swash, and develop numerical model improvements to swash zone transport of core gravel beaches. So I will talk first about my daily life. So I live in Mitaka City, in dormitory of U Tokyo. I take a 15-minute bike ride to the station and take the train to Hongo campus. And then I go to this building in the center of Hongo campus so I usually go after lunch because the train is very packed in the morning. And I usually work at home in the morning, and I go take lunch first at the cafeteria in this building. And then I go straight to the civil engineering building and to my lab desk to do some computation. And then sometimes I go to the lab and I paint core gravels and take videos while running waves on core gravel beach. And then I go back to my desk and do some more computation. So here's a sample of a video of wave running up the swash zone. And you can see infiltration in velocity vectors in this direction, and exfiltration velocity vectors move up. So to further see, we applied 3 cases, changing the wave period while keeping wave height constant. And this changes wave steepness and wavelength, and extracted the water surface and particle horizontal and vertical velocities UNV at the bed level at the initial profile t equals 0. And so the red line, positive U means to the right, and positive V means upward. So this means infiltration. So positive U and negative V, diagonal downward, seen from the previous quiver plot. And we can observe infiltration as expected during the run up, and exfiltration during the run down. We can see that the magnitude of infiltration and exfiltration of succeeding events are related in magnitude for case 1, 2.5 second wave. And they change in magnitude while all surface is usually the same. So this is interesting, but peakedness, I think, changes a little. So for case 2, a shorter wave period, this is observed a higher U magnitude in the run up, but lower in the run down. I think this is also very interesting, and this might be related to infiltration reducing the run down horizontal velocity. And this means that the lower horizontal velocity means that the upward flow, the exfiltration is more upward since the horizontal velocity is short. So this might induce more onshore transport. And for case 3, shorter wave period, 1.5 second wave, shows somewhat similar to case 1. So this summary of the observations described earlier, and case 2 is very special case that must be studied more in depth. So I made a new experiment for 1.8 second wave, and I am still doing the analysis. And I plan to do more experiments to modify groundwater flow, and then I can proceed to numerical modeling to study further the relation of wave parameters and sediment movement in porous core gravel in Swasta. So I do other activities aside from research. We went to field survey, but this is also research. And this is a photo of sunrise in Irimotejima in Okinawa Prefecture, where a core gravel beach is observed. And I go bouldering sometimes, and I tried snowboarding in the winter once, and I take Japanese classes too online. And I forgot to add the slide, but I also participate in host family program, and we went to Tokyo Skytree. Here is a photo, and yes, so these are my experiences as an international student, and I hope you like my presentation. Thank you for listening, and here's my email for questions on my research. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Clint, for the detailed introduction of the lab experiment and your hobby. Yes,
thank you.
Very good. Okay, and the last one, Arirenzo Tabana from Bridge and Wind Engineering Laboratories. Are you ready?
Please wait a second. I will share my presentation. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ali Reza. I'm from Iran, and I'm from the Bridge and Wind Engineering Lab, and my sensei is Yamaguchi sensei. So first, I'm going to explain very briefly about my research and about what I'm doing and the motivation. So basically, maybe as all of you know, in the Paris Agreement, all the world, we are committed to reach the zero carbon emission by 2050. Also, here I have included the price of oil according to the new events like the Russian war that's going on. The price of oil is very unstable and it cannot provide energy security. So different countries have committed in their national policies to go towards more towards other forms of energy and basically renewable energies, which is basically wind and solar. But our focus is wind energy. Wind is a very rapidly growing energy sector. You can see this is the installed wind energy capacity in Japan, and you can see that it is linearly increasing in the recent years. But the major challenge in wind is that we need to estimate wind speed. This is needed because we sometimes want to do site assessment, sometimes we want to do resource assessment, and sometimes we need to do regulating the dispatch. Actually, the consumption and the generation of electricity should be same. In renewable energies, in conventional like power plants, it's okay because we know how much it is going to be produced. But in renewable energies, this is a problem. So if I want to give you a brief map of what I'm talking about. Actually, wind speed estimation is necessary for two purposes: hindcasting and forecasting. It means looking backward or looking forward. And for this, we can use hindcasting is for site assessment and resource assessment, and forecasting for future, for making consumption and generation similar, for regulating the dispatch. And the model that is used, normally we can use either physical model or a statistical models. Physical models have come in different scales, from the synoptic scale, which is in the order of 100 kilometers in the global meteorological scale. Then we have the mesoscale, phenomena like sea breezes or thermal stratification, and it's in the order of 10 kilometers. And then we have micro or small scale issues, for example, terrain effect or the wake effect. And also we have the statistical model that uses data like time series analysis, like ARMA, or artificial intelligence, which are new machine learning approaches. So to showcase one example, I will talk briefly about the research that I have been doing. I have been doing hint casting, like looking backward for site assessment, for getting the designed wind speed in a wind farm in Aomori Prefecture in the north of Japan, Iwaya wind farm. So one of the, to estimate the 50-year wind speed, based on the Japanese code, it is necessary to have a value called topographic multiplier to include the effect of topography. And currently, the current methodology is to consider the maximum of this value in different directions, and the effect of directionality is not considered. But as you can imagine, the effect of topography is changing in different directions, and then this should be accounted for in the because wind is not always from the maximum side. So we believe that this value is too conservative and it is kind of overestimating, and sometimes based on this, no wind turbine class can meet this requirements too high. So we believe this can be reduced. For this research, I did the mesoscale model and then the micro scale model, the scales that I talked about, and after that I proposed a new method to estimate the design wind speed. But in each of these steps, actually, we had some challenges. Like, for example, in the mesoscale model, there is some, if you want to incorporate the measurement data, there are different methods of data assimilation proposed or nudging. So, for example, one idea is to do the data assimilation at all the levels in the inner domain. And the other one is, like, for example, to do it only above 6 kilometers. And as you can see, each of these data assimilation schemes give optimal results at certain seasons. So we proposed this kind of weight function and did the optimization in the years in the 16 years of the data that we had for Iwaya wind farm, and we found that if you start the partial nudging scheme on April 7th and continue for half a year till October 7th, we can get optimal results. And you can see that our proposed method has improved the result for example, one of the turbine sites. But as I mentioned, the mesoscale model cannot take into account the effect of terrain. As you can see in this figure, the effect of terrain is totally not considered in the mesoscale terrain. So we need to, for example, we need to propose a new method to consider the effect of topography. To do that, I did the CFD simulation on course on the mesoscale terrain data and also on the fine or real terrain data. And after that, by using this correction factor, we can correct the data. And as you can see here, the results actually improve as a result of including the effect of topography. And here I have included the settings of the simulation, but I'm not going to go through them here. So basically, this is the flowchart of what I did. I did the mesoscale simulation, and after that, used the CFD to add the effect of terrain. And then using a statistical models, we can calculate the 50-year wind speed. And finally, by considering the effect of the value of 50 years real and over real terrain and flat terrain, we could see that it is possible for turbine number 2 to reduce the effect of previously proposed topographic multiplier by 8%. And finally, about my life in Japan, my life in Japan has been very nice. I have enjoyed it very much. I've had the opportunity to travel to many places, and I have the opportunity to meet many people. Also, a great chance to learn the Japanese language, and maybe I believe I have learned a new outlook towards life and how to work. And this has been actually the best experience of my life so far. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Alireza. So yeah, your research topic is very timely under the unstable energy provision situations.
Yes, yes.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Okay, short talk by 4 students finished now. So and then yes, I'd like to introduce of the introduction of questionnaire survey from the Associate Professor Shimozono Sensei. So, okay, are you ready?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, my name is Shimozono. I'm a faculty member of Foreign Student Office. So I'd like to take this opportunity for a quick introduction of our questionnaire survey to international students participating in this event. So we conduct the survey every year to obtain feedbacks on our graduate program from students. So survey period is from March 2nd to 11th. And this is a free anonymous survey, anonymous online survey, which will take only 5 to 15 minutes. So please give us frank opinion. So the link was already sent to you by email, so please give us your response. Additionally, we plan to have online interview with some volunteer students to obtain further detailed feedbacks or to receive your complaint on our program in this time slot. So please register your information to the form below if you are available for this interview. So we will later contact you for details of the interview. Okay, so these links will be given in the Zoom chat window. So this is very important for us to continuously improve our program. Thank you very much for your cooperation. That's it. I'll give it back to Sekimoto Sensei. Thank you.
Shimozo Sensei, thank you so much. Yes, actually, Kato Sensei already introduced last year questionnaire results in the first talk. So yes, please collaborate to the Shimozo Sensei's questionnaire survey, please. So now, before the break, can we take a group photo now? Okay. So if you're okay, yes, please turn on the video. And Kashiyama-san, are you ready for take a group photo?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. I take picture 3 times. Okay. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Hasha. Please wait.
Smile, smile.
Please wait. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Hasha. Last time. 3, 2, 1. Hasha. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Kashiyama-san and everyone. So now let's go to the break and let's have a second part from the 3 p.m. Yeah, behind 15 minutes. But yeah, anyway, let's start from 3 p.m.
Time depends on the country. So 3 p.m. in Japan Standard Time. So 12 minutes later, yes, we will start.
I see. Thank you very much, Kato Sensei.
Yeah. Okay. See you later.
See you later.
Yes.